Sir, you're in the backblast area. Hello everyone. Long time enjoyed. First time poster. On mobile disclaimer. This happened 20 years. As I went through basic training and ate for the army in 2001. Man, writing THST makes me feel old. The summer of 2001 I graduated high school and enrolled in the army. I shipped off 2 days prior to my 19th birthday. I arrived at Fort Knox, KY on my birthday, and what a pleasant present that was. Drill sergeants, DS, can be malicious compliance animals, as they are the epitome of by the book and doing what you are told. Fast forward. We are in our BRM phase, basic rifle marksmanship, and after the depressing start of going into hell on my birthday, basic training actually started being fun, and BRM was no exception. Being raised in a farm, I already had the basics concepts of shooting down and, though not a natural, was pretty decent when it came to shooting the pop-up targets. Qualification day came, and with basic training being one big competition between everything from squad members to platoons and even companies, the DS decided to sweeten the pot and give the 2 top qualifiers the prize of shooting off an AT-4. Think bazooka, but smaller. We were all excited and shot our best. Several people shot 40/40ths and they had a shoot-off for the top 2. I only managed 32/40ths, but was still happy. The 2 winners are declared and we gather around for safety brief and instruction block on how to use these. Before firing, you are told to yell, "Backblast area clear," and that tells anyone in the wake of the concussion of the blast that they should move to the left or right so they are out of the danger zone. The 2 winners get their AT-4. Get in position to fire. First kid goes and screams his warning and aims at the old tank 400 yards away. Big boom. Men turn into kids and holler and cheer. Second winner steps up and gets prepared. Looks back. Yells his warning and stops. A platoon leader, place, had come up and was standing about 20 feet directly behind the solider getting ready to fire. The DS asks the place to move to the left or the right, but he doesn't. He walks back about 30 yards or so and nods his head, indicating that he is good. The DS doesn't move and yells, "Sir, that's not far enough." He tells the place that the effective blast area of an AT-4 is about 100 yards and he should move. The place did not like being given instructions by an enlisted solider. And since the place was fresh out of officer training, thought he knew everything. Replies back that he did not need to be retaught what he had already learned and to continue on with the exercise. To which the DS nodded and looked at the solider and said, "Carry on." The soldier, now looking very timid and scared, is hesitant and pauses. The DS approaches and loud enough for everyone to hear says, "Did you not just hear the lawful order you place just gave? Carry on, solider." The kid swallows, yells, "Backblast area clear" one more time, checks his rear, shrugs, aims at the old tank and fires. The place was knocked flat on his ass as the concussion wave hit him. He got up uneasily and looked up. Every bit of mucus this apparently sick place had in his face was oozing out of his face. The DS gives the all clear, nods at the place and grins. Place burns holes in the DS with eyes but can barely keep standing as he hobbles over to the medic to get checked out. Edited for mistakes. Experience is the best lesson learned. I've dealt with my share of arrogant West Point graduates when I was in the Army as well. Ex-Navy here. Realized early on that an O1 was essentially an officer recruit, and thus not to be trusted with about anything potentially harmful. Safety rules are often written in blood. Friendly reminders to follow those rules are often written in burnt eyebrows. If you haven't already, post this in our military stories. Before we left for NTC, we got a slideshow. PowerPoint had not been birthed yet. One how to survive. They brought up this photo of a red-faced guy with wide open eyes and a big smile. Explained that he had decided to stand behind a Dragon missile launcher with his head low enough to get a gunner's view. It burned off his eyelids and lips. And I'm sure he's blind, too. Dude, you said 20 years ago and I still went cool, the 80s. Then I realized that was 40 years ago. Well, at least he wasn't navigating for the platoon. Epitome 8 for the Army all checks out. Newbie. Place. With just enough knowledge to be dangerous. Hopefully the lesson place learned was expensive enough for him to learn to listen to those with more knowledge and not get people he is responsible for killed or himself. If admitting doing basic in 8 in 2001 makes you feel old, I did basic in 1987, also at Fort Knox. So the place illustrated for everyone what happens when someone is in the backblast area. Right kind of him to sacrifice himself on the altar of physics. So everyone could learn from his fail. Smile with horns. Hey, he gave the warning and the reasoning. The guy had plenty of opportunities to move. Yeah, I was a shooter on the CG. Same basic design but can be reloaded. And you'd be amazed how much ground can be blasted away from one shot even when the ground is frozen solid. Though according to our safety regulations, if you ain't wearing an orange vest then you have no say. Just up and do as you're told. General. Epitome equals epitome. Gotta love when some snotty, baby-faced officer challenges some enlisted salt and learns the hard way. Back in my Navy days, whenever we got a baby officer, they had to stand under instruct watches to qualify under already qualified enlisted personnel. Well, that meant that a lot of times you had E4s and E5s babysitting ensigns and LTs. One night we had an officer who apparently thought she was hot stuff because she just graduated the academy. Academy grads never had any chill. I happened to be close at hand taking logs when I hear her trying to argue with a very, very tired E5 that was over-instructing her on TG watch. Something about some valve or something. IDK not my forte. Finally, he gets fed up with her attitude and in a very "I'm exhausted and currently fresh out of F's" voice says, "Ma'am, I have been on this ship for longer than you have been in the Navy." It shut her up for a second. I had to go take logs elsewhere for a while to compose myself. The summer of 2001 I graduated high school and enrolled in the Army. Well, fuck. That DS is a good teacher. It's always best to learn by example after all. When your arrogance blows up in your face. Literally. You really oughta show a little bit of humility. Goddamn butter bars. Jesus, I set the range record for my company at MCRD San Diego and all I got was a burger.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.